right now, watching it. Definitely not.
I'm not gonna sell mine.
You're
It's up
hodling.
right. It's a 0.
I'm hodling. Yeah, I'm into Web3 gaming, so I want to take part in it.
Bullish on. Is it Zynga? Zynga?
Zynga,
Zynga.
Zynga.
Zynga. Bazinga.
RSG has literally said it on our podcast for 2 years that the only thing he wants is a Web3 Farmville, and today he got his wish.
Look who's coming in. Look who's coming in. Zynga's in. We're ready to go. Other than Farmville, remember they were Words with Friends. There was another game that they made. I think Toy Blast.
Were they Words with Friends? I didn't realize that. I like that game.
And also Zynga Poker. Those were like the main ones.
Okay, I was trying to tell Camel though. I was like, let us. He said that we're gonna release the game like right after Mint. I'm like, give us a teaser of the game. I just want to see just a little something. But
would you rather see a trailer that has an asterisk at the bottom saying this is not actual gameplay, or would you rather wait for the game and just get it?
This is Web3.
I'd rather see gameplay.
Trailer.
Brother, see the crazy trailer, bro.
Give me that
I
trailer.
gave you two options. Not you gave me a third.
No, yeah, we kind of had insight that Zynga was going to come to the space for a while. The founder, Justin something, kind of created his own NFT project. It's like a storytelling thing. He did that last year, so I figured that Zynga itself was going to back something. And then Zynga also, we had workers from Zynga. I'm still getting the echo. It's throwing me off. We had workers from Zynga create other games like Pirate Nation.
Oh, they were behind Pirate Nation. I didn't realize that.
Like, people from
Not
the Zynga
directly.
team were involved with Pirate Nation, so it's actually Zynga's on their website.
Nice.
I don't know what capacity or who it was.
Have you played that game before?
Yeah, I
like
played
it?
all the time.
Chris, have you
Good,
played?
bad?
Have you ever played Zed Run?
I have not.
Okay. I just kind of knew like a lot of those people ran in the same circles if they played Pirate
I didn't
Nation.
know.
Whoa, what is those people?
What's your favorite like Web3?
People who are into Web3
gaming
gaming. You said I'm into Web3 gaming, and
Oh.
it's like people who are willing to take a shot on like an early game in Web3. That's more what I meant. Yeah. Like it's not AAA, but they're like, oh, I'm into Web3 gaming. I want to like be on the cutting edge and like see what it's all about, like that kind of stuff.
I haven't tried Zed Run yet.
Nice.
Chris, number one game in Web3 right now.
What I enjoyed the most is Pirate Nation. As far as number one, and I don't know, there's been some good ones. Big Time's a really good game. I really enjoyed, even though it's still not really fully Web3, 12 a.m. Midnight Society, Dr. Disrespect's game. That one was a lot of fun. Or Dead Drop. Thing's got like 10 names. Dead Drop is the actual game though. That one was a lot of fun, but it's still not like Web3 yet. There's another one.
Which one's your
I
largest
like
bag?
WAGME. It's kind of like a tower defense game. It's one of my favorites. So probably Pirate Nation right now though. I like.
Wait, did you say
It's just easy
WAGME
to jump
is the
on.
tower defense game?
Yeah, it might be called WAGME Defense, but I think their X profile is just WAGME. Yeah, it's WAGME Games Company. They actually had somebody from EA Sports on their team. I forgot his official title.
Okay, no, I think if we're thinking the same thing, yes. Okay. This is like the most weird crossover of all time. So my background is in sports science, exercise science. There's this guy who is well known within the exercise science field. His name is Scott Herman because he made all these short exercise demos like 10 years ago, and they've just been the like a kind of comic, but also gold standard. Because he's like, "Hey, I'm Scott Herman here. I'm going to show you how to do a chest press today." Like, and they're all a minute long. And then I saw him on Twitter one day, and he's like, "Hey, Scott Herman here with WAGME Games." And I was like, "Wait, this guy's in Web3, and he's like making games." Like, it's just the weirdest crossover. But I love it.
So Scott's really cool. I've had a few calls with him, and he's been to a lot of events. So the events that he goes to, he actually dresses up in this giant mech suit that they like built for him for like a display of the game of one of the characters. But the thing is like huge and heavy, and I think he was like super hot last time. But yeah, I mean, he's like their, I don't know his official title, but it is funny to see him cross over. So before he got big on working out and YouTube, he was on Real World, I think. It was one of those reality TV shows. And then he was one of the first people to do like workout videos consistently, like on YouTube, and he blew up from that. So he's got a couple million on YouTube, but he now has like a gaming channel that he's been running for a long time. Maybe it's the same thing. He was playing Dragon Ball Z games for like the last like 5 years, and so recently, within the last 2 years, he jumped on to like a Web3 game, which is the WAGB defense.
That's awesome. Yeah, it was such a weird thing. I like tweeted at him and I was like, Scott Herman, like from Scott Herman Fitness. And he followed me back. I was like, yes, this is a great day for me.
Really cool dude, lots of energy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we need in space.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Shoot, I was wondering, Chris, have you had any exposure to Parallel?
I haven't.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
one of those things I've been wanting to look into and
Crier.
just haven't.
That's me.
Crier, Parallel, pill us. Tell us the truth.
It is incredible. I'm a big trading card game guy. I've been playing since Magic. I played Hearthstone, Eternal, Pokemon. Well, like every trading card game. And what's up, Marvel Snap? I'll give it. It's Marvel Snap. There you go. That's what you want, RC. But yeah, I think they've done a incredibly good job on just making it fun, right? Like no one's gonna come and play a game if it's not fun, and that's the biggest problem right now. So they've got rid of. You don't even know if there's NFTs in it. You are just playing a trading card game that has a new sci-fi, genre, which is not really common in the trading card space. So I think overall, just the mechanics are really well done. They add a new spin where it's more card draw than normal games. You draw 2 a turn and discard 1 to get energy. So most mechanics for like a digital trading card game or like Hearthstone or something like that is every turn you just get energy and you draw 1 card. So this one is you're drawing 2 a turn and you have to discard 1 to gain energy that turn. So it makes it you have to make smart moves, and the strategy of it is greater just because you have to make those smart moves, right? If you discard a card that you need in turn 5 to get rid of a lot of the people that are attacking you, that was a bad move on your part, and now you're gonna die. So there's a lot of really good information on just how the interactions between there's a bunch of different factions, right? So you get 5 factions, each of them have their own kind of style of play. And I think that makes if you get used to one card style, so like the Singularity and the Shroud team is my favorite right now, then there's good playability because I can go to a new one and learn those mechanics too. So they've done really well with that. And then on the NFT side is very interesting because it adds the ability to pretty much make money if you're good at the game, right? So you're risking Prime to play people, and if you win, you gain Prime based on how many NFTs are actual NFTs in your deck. So each deck is 40 cards. You get a percentage of Prime based on how much real NFTs the deck is made of. So a lot of good mechanics.
Well, and the Prime ecosystem is pretty deep with like all the different token syncs they have. They have like the Artograph, which is like signed cards. They have, I mean, and they just have crazy, like they've got like D apps built around it. Just a ton of different
sure.
token syncs. They have DAOs with it. It's really kind of, you can go down the rabbit hole like big time, or you can gain exposure to the system without even playing the game. If you like pick up Prime keys and things like that,
That too.
that get Prime emissions.
And the opposite side of if you don't have any NFT exposure, you can go and just play for free. And their pay for free model is great because they make money off the NFT side.
Mm-hmm.
And we've interviewed Mr. Gone and Triple Crash,
Yep.
who are the lead game designers and marketing business development guy. So we've had them twice on our show, and they are incredibly smart. They have very good mechanics and the business side of it is run really well because they're like, we get a lot of wiggle room because there is generation of income on the backside that's pure fan, like the real hardcore fans generate all of our income, so that free to play people can actually feel free to play and enjoy the game without, you know, punishing. You know, I feel like Hearthstone is a great example of, it used to be a great game, now it's super cash grabby, and it's you know, you're constantly trying to keep up, and you're not going to be any, if you're not spending money, you're not going to be in the, you know, rank 10 and higher.
So the first time I saw people, I think I fixed my echo. Let's go. The first time that I saw people trading Prime, I totally thought it was another like Logan Paul like scam token.
Yes.
I didn't realize it was, they decided to go with that ticker for Parallel.
That's awesome. Yeah, gotta stay hydrated. You know, that would be a part. That would be a partnership. You know,
I'm still blocked by him on this platform.
nice, nice.
So
I'm
I
not
can't
gonna block
keep
your
up with
ass.
the latest Dylan Dennis drama because I can't see his post.
So far,
Nothing of value there.
so far off my
Yeah,
radar.
I
I'm
know.
like,
You're good. You're lucky you can't see it.
You're lucky.
On the Web3 gaming, the free to play model versus like the Genesis NFT, this isn't something I've been thinking about a lot. And going back to Pirate Nation again, that's something I feel like they're doing a good job at. Is like, how do you retain value for your Genesis holders, but like switch to a free to play model later without like making it like a huge advantage? Like, you want to make it an advantage to have the NFT because you want that to be valuable and you want to reward your early support, but you don't want it to be so much of an advantage that it like screws over the free to play where they're like never going to be as, you know, like they're going to basically be these elite like in this inside this like ecosystem. So that's something I've been like trying to like wrap my head around for a while, and I think Pirate Nation is doing a good job at it. Basically, one of the things they're doing that I found interesting is if you had a Genesis Pirate, your wallet is now locked to where like you can forever like buy and sell assets in game on that wallet. And then if you had two, you got a trade license to where you could like trade that to somebody else. But in order to actually like buy and sell assets on the game without having a Genesis Pirate, you have to get to a certain level. And that level, it's still speculation on how long it takes to get there, but it might take like 2 months of playing, you know, before you can actually like buy and sell like resources. But there's a lot of other like benefits to having the Genesis as well. But some of them might be overpowered. We don't know yet. Like you get like extra resources, like how much extra, like I don't know. You get like extra accessories, of course. But I don't know. The whole like how do we balance? And Bored Apes are gonna have this the same problem with their games as well. Like if they go to an open or when they go to an open model, like how do we reward our holders with still not making this like a fun game for everybody to play?
well, I think one of the things that I think that I've seen Parallel do, and maybe we'll see on other side as well, is focus less on. I mean, there certainly are like within Parallel cards that are more powerful that are NFTs as opposed to I think the non NFT cards are called like apparitions or glints or something like that.
Yeah.
But they're focusing on aesthetics, or at least they've put a lot of focus on that. That's why they have this thing called the Artograph, which you could get your cards signed by the artist who made the art. It doesn't. I don't think it necessarily gives you any extra in-game power. Maybe prime emissions. You can also get card backs. So these are like aesthetic token sinks where people can use their tokens if they really are into that. Who knows if we'll see that helmet that people got in the other side trial, if that actually has some power up, or if it's just a skin, if it's just a look. That could be one way to do it,
100%.
I mean, personally, I believe like me growing up on the RuneScape side, you look at the party hats, you look at like those items, the Santa hat that was, it doesn't give you like a boost or anything like that, but it was so scarce in like how many there are, and everyone wanted them, and it was millions of coins just to get these items, even though it had no benefit whatsoever in the game except just looking cool. So
It's almost like
I could see
NFTs.
it's almost like NFTs.
Social signaling.
And that's why my second game I would love to see outside of Farmville in Web3 would be RuneScape. It would be the
No way.
Yeah, way.
RuneScape on chain.
That'd be ridiculous.
Someone needs to take like the legacy RuneScape and just put it like on base, like the whole game or something.
The whole entire thing. I would have to quit my job.
Someone's doing that right now.
I would.
It's called Syncoscape. It's from those DMT things on our beach room.
Wait, what? This is a real thing?
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome.
They keep posting teasers of it and stuff like that, but it's I mean their main product is like just like Texas Hold'em poker and all and like blackjack and stuff like that and Uno.
So like,
So they're
like
adding this is one of the things they're trying to add.
to get into Web3, and they just make a little lobby for their holders to play poker, Uno, and card games.
And RuneScape.
And
RuneScape.
Good word.
Ultimate DGen gaming network.
By the way, back to Parallel on the side of like what Cryer was saying. Like the game's fun, but if you're outside of the trading card fandom or experience for at least 7 or 8 years, this game is not easy. It's pretty challenging. These cards are pretty confusing at times. Like it takes a little bit of time to pick up. So for me personally, like on the sense of being this rookie into trading card games, I mean, of course I played Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, but that was, I know I look 17, but like that was like freaking
Many moons
15 years
ago.
Yeah, many moons ago. So on the sense of like when I first played, you can ask Cryer, I was like, yo, I'd never want to play this game ever again. And then Cryer jumped on Discord with me and he showed me how to play. And once he explained how to play, like step by step, I was like, this makes a lot more sense. But without that, I probably should have just jumped on YouTube or in the Discord and they would have helped me, but that's a lot of work.
Well, yeah, maybe there's.
But other than that, you can't just pick it up, is what I was trying to say. Like a lot of the games on the Apple Store or Google Play Store, whatever it's called, Android user, you can just pick up the game and play the game and that's it. This one, I feel like it's a lot harder just to pick up and actually like be good and enjoy, unless you put in like a good amount of reading, a good amount of watching YouTube, a good amount of watching someone do it. Unless you have, like I said, that Cryer experience of 20 years of playing these types of games.
Well, I wonder if they could have some kind of mode, like, as I know they have the rookie mode, but maybe even like a lesser tier that's like like it can walk you through it a little bit more. Would you feel like that would be helpful?
Yes and no. Obviously, a lot of us in video games, like unless when you first started, everyone skips tutorials. They just
Right.
go straight like, oh, I'll figure it out.
I mean, they have this tutorial too
I'll
already.
Nice.
I'll
They already
they
have
had a
that.
tutorial.
Yeah.
They literally had one, and I skipped it.
Nice. Okay. Okay.
And here's the thing I was gonna say about it: there's good tutorials, and there's bad tutorials. And I personally believe that was a bad tutorial because if you would have hooked me, I would have done it. Don't let me go to the next step without like really understanding it. Like if you remember on the Marvel Snap side, Cryer, like you literally had to do it and understand it, or you couldn't go to the next step. Here, I could just click. All right, let me play.
Maybe they should reward you with
done
like an
it.
apparition or something like that for completing the tutorial.
That again, proof of knowledge or proof of understanding or proof of not being an idiot. But yeah, pretty much.
I think it's a good approach, and I think that's the reason that I like the game so much. And like I've played Marvel Snap. We've talked about it multiple times on our show, but it doesn't catch me. It's not, to me. It's just not enough strategy to it. I feel like it's fun, but it's more of like I'll play it a couple times and I'm done. So this one has a lot more strategy and a lot more replayability to me, and I feel like that is something that there isn't a lot of digital version of trading card games that kind of capture that. Like Magic does, that one I was talking about, Eternal does. But again, you don't own they're crazy punishing, or Hearthstone. They're crazy punishing on the free side play, and they earn all the money. And tournament wise, I think this will be really good. I think we'll have multiple $1,000 tournaments, probably monthly on the end of once there's like out of the beta and stuff like that, because they're already trying to do that push, and that's something that I enjoy, and I think that's something that adds a lot of value to the the stream side, right? Like having good competitive scene and stuff like that. So
hey, the last thing I'll say on this is obviously on the trading card side of things, and Chris, we talked about this last night of the attention span of a 13-year-old girl. I have the attention span of a 13-year-old girl when it comes to a trading card game, because I want games to be less than 2-3 minutes, where these games here, like Hearthstone, like Parallel, these are minimum 10, if not 15-minute long games. So if you're going into this thinking like it's going to be a quick game and you're ready to go, like absolutely not. You're in a meeting or something, or you're in line for something, you can't play the game. So when I look at Marvel Snap and the ability that I have to, like, in a commercial or going to the bathroom or walking my dog, and I can just have this do one or two games, and then I'm ready to go and I just do whatever else. That's what I like about it. And obviously, again, the graphic side, I'm a massive Marvel fan, so seeing all these characters are awesome. But on the parallel side, you have to understand, like, you're going to sit down, you're going to play, you're going to understand the game, massive strategy, everything like that. And if you enjoy that, 1,000%, this game is insane. And one of the really incredible things that I believe about this game, and you mentioned it a little bit earlier, Crier, is this, and Dude Lift, is the IP. It's a brand new IP we've never seen before, and
Right.
the fandom behind it is insane right now. This community, they're loving it. They're in the lore. They're figuring everything out, and obviously being in the NFT PFP space, that's what everyone's looking for, is that next IP, that next brand that's going to blow up, like Pokemon, like Marvel, like Disney, etc. And Parallel's doing a pretty good job on that side, and the animations and everything like that. From what I've seen while playing, as well as interviewing them on our podcast, it's been phenomenal. So you got to give the flowers to them.
So there's a lot of irony here. For those that don't know, we're actually in a call right now. I think it's being streamed somewhere. But speaking of IP, just pointing out, Dude Lives has a doodle hat and a doodles in the background. Crier's got doodles in the background. I got a Cool Cats hat on, Pudgy Penguin in the background, and V Friends. And Red Sox, the one talking about IP right now, has nothing but One Piece
And Marvel.
and Marvel.
Doodles.
Whoa.
Like
Whoa.
40,000
My
screen went out right before I called him out. I was like, oh, I just got kicked.
No. We got everything here. I got everything. I got Web 2 and I got Web 3.
Yeah, he's bridging. RC's bridging the gap.
Yeah, bridging the gap.
Oh,
between,
RC.
One
Oh, look,
Piece-
I've got that
between
same
One Piece
toy.
and Marvel.
That same Pudgy right back there, the little samurai guy. It's great.
He is the best.
The last thing I'll say about Parallel, because this is becoming a parallel space, is the stuff they're kind of doing. You can see them laying down the framework for the future, which I think is really interesting. The stuff with the stuff with the colony is like next
Very
level.
interesting.
That's some wild. I've had some talks with some people who are kind of into gaming and AI, and they're like, this is pretty wild. And I like how with all their assets, they're thinking about, all the avatars are already rigged in Unreal, right? So they could be used in 3D, FPS environments, later on, things like that. Just the amount of playability of these assets in the future, and like the AR stuff, it reminds me of the old like Yu-Gi-Oh armband with all the cards, like, but
Yep.
I think, we've seen Apple Vision Pro, and the possibility of kind of AR gaming. And this could be really interesting to play a game of Parallel or something similar.
We
in AR.
we got some alpha from that too as well. From so we were talking to him and and mentioned the whole AR, like, you've all rigged for this. You've kind of future proofed your game. Some of the people that worked on the AR side for them were in development with the Apple Vision Pro.
Ooh.
So
You love to see it.
I do think that could be something where they're very just very tailored to that experience, because people are going to pay $3,500 for this Vision Pro and then look at their calendar and email and be like, ooh, but what are you actually going to, like, what's the actual value behind these things? I think a little bit more is the gaming aspect inside of it.
You can do
Go ahead,
spatial filming
Apple
on the new
buy.
iPhone as well.
Yep, I saw that. Yeah,
It's pretty cool. So like you can like capture the moment really well. Like if you're at like a Doodles putt event, which I wouldn't know how those go, but I'm sure they're really cool. But if you wanted to like film one, and like really capture the moment where you can go back and watch it later, you can like really feel like you're there through the Apple Vision Pro.
Nice. Yeah.
Dude, nice Mr. Meeseeks, man. Red Sox just showed us a Mr. Meeseeks.
Is that where your putt ball is, Cried?
That's right.
You, you thieve it? Yeah. Nice.
By the way, I just want to mention,
Please return. Like, no way.
we all know Crier's not going to just use the Apple Vision for that and that's it. So like, come on.
But what are you going to use it for?
Oh, I'm not allowed to say it on the spaces.
I already have
Are
one.
you guys copying the new iPhone? I know Crier's not. He's an Android person.
No,
Probably next year. I always go every like 2-3 years. And I
Yeah.
just got this.
you don't want to pay $1,100 for a 1 gram lighter and a 20-year-old USB-C.
It's titanium,
Thank you.
bro.
Yeah, it's titanium. Thank you. And they now
Okay,
have an
great,
SMS
guys.
feature. When I'm out in the middle of nowhere, I can use a satellite for somebody to come save me.
Great.
So
I
it's a super useful
You do that.
feature for. I might need that like a couple times a year.
I didn't upgrade to the 14, which is the first time I hadn't upgraded my iPhone since the original iPhone. So, so I'm upgrading to the 15 for sure.
Yeah, I'm doing 15. My iPhone's the 12 Pro Max, and it's kind of at the point to where it's extended its life. Like sometimes I can't even like click stuff. Like it'll like mess up, and my sound sucks because I blew out my speaker at some point. So I'm like in need of an upgrade anyways. And the 12 is the cutoff for like the higher. Like if I trade in my 12, I get $450 off.
Yep.
And like that's the cutoff. It goes from like that to like $200 off,
$180
off, or something like
Yeah,
that.
with the 13 Pro Max, I get
might as well.
640. So I'm like, bro, turning it in.
Dude, what sucks is I just spent like $700 on like my Roadcaster setup like 6 months. It was less than 6 months ago, and since then, Twitter, now X, has already introduced like desktop, to where like you can basically do everything from desktop, even though it's still kind of finicky. And now my I'm not gonna be able to use this like iPhone cable that I've been using.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go order one for a USB-C cable if I get the 15. So
Luckily,
I
I just have the adapter, so I just have to get the USB-C
I was gonna say
to
there's probably a adapter. It's
3.5
like
millimeter
$25.
adapter.
Hey man, it's just the concept of like, man,
Yeah.
well, at least I can still hit music on demand if I want to.
I'm interested to use the new iPhone, maybe as a second camera or like second or third camera, since it's USB-C. So it could theoretically be used as like a live streaming camera or something like that.
Oh, I didn't think about that. And the quality is a 48 megapixel.
Oh, yeah.
And
Or like every Android phone for the last 10 years.
All right, Crier. They have a photonic
I
engine,
love listening to people talk
machine
about that.
learning.
It's so crazy. You could use it as a camera. It's like, what? Come on, guys.
Yo, it's got Bluetooth though. Like we can't skip over that.
Network
Like,
effects.
it's
Network effects.
got
Crier.
Bluetooth on it to where you can hold your phone up to each other and like transfer something just by holding your phone next to each
Okay,
other.
but did you see the double tap on the watch?
That's been a thing, like it's been a thing for like since the Generation 8. They just didn't like highlight it. It was
No
like
way.
it wasn't a prime feature. It was like you had to like go into the settings and optimize it. So like now I think it's like more optimized. But I told my friend about it, who's like always been big on iWatches, and I have a really funny story about iWatches, by the way. And he's like, dude, I've been using that feature forever. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, I've been having it since iPhone. And I looked it up, and sure enough, it's
no
just
idea.
they're making it like a primary thing now. But yeah, you can tap your fingers. So I used to use my iWatch every single day for like this is so petty. I used to use my iWatch like every day for like years. And I'm a creature of habit, man. Like it has to be X, Y, or Z, or like my brain. Like if I don't put my wallet in a certain place, I'm gonna lose it. If I don't put my keys hanging up, I'm gonna lose them. Well, one day my wife put my iWatch charger into a drawer that was just underneath where I charged it every night, and she said, "From now on, you're gonna have to put it in this drawer. You're not gonna be able to charge it on the table." I never used my iWatch since that day. I wore it every single day for years, and the charger got put up in a drawer, and I never wore it again.
Yes. For some reason, I understand
This is
this.
a man of habit.
Man, I have it, man. I don't want to pull out my charger to like plug the watch onto it and then like unplug the charger and put it back in the drawer every day. That's just like one extra.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's just like one extra step I have to do every single morning, man. That's like
You
way too much.
moved my thing. I can't use it anymore.
I already got to feed dogs and kids and get myself ready. I don't want to have to plug a charger in every morning.
Saltines.
Okay, I didn't realize that feature though was live in previous Apple Watches, but you see it happening. So with the Apple Vision Pro and the Apple Watch, this kind of like in the air double tap maneuver, they're trying to like coach us into that's how we're going
Condition
to
you.
Yeah. And then 100%. Oh, and this year they laid into the conditioning in the keynote. Like they haven't done it that bad in previous years. Like Tim Cook was like, "Yeah, I bet if you leave your iPhone at home, you're going back for it. You know you are." you dirty little dog. Like he just laid into it. And so they're really kind of doubling down on it being essential and part of your life. So
I would snooze every alarm for the rest of my life if I had if
know.
if it was based on me tapping my fingers to like snooze my alarm. I would. There's no way. Good thing my kids are like natural alarms, so like I don't need alarms anyways.
We're all gonna
But if
develop
I
like
relied on an
subconscious
alarm,
fidgets.
Freeze.
Just
subconsciously, I would every single time. I would like if I sleep. I used to have to like put my phone away from my bed because if I woke up, the alarm woke me up. I would like grab my phone in my sleep and turn it off and then go back to sleep, or like not without even like consciously being awake. So I have to have when I did rely on an alarm to wake me up, I had to have it like on a different part of the room, where I had to like wake up and walk to it.
have you seen those ones that like launch a rocket off and you have to go get the rocket and bring it back?
Put it back.
Oh, man.
No, but that's awesome.
And they have ones that like
Need
some that are on wheels that will start rolling off your nightstand and just start rolling around the room. You have to like catch it.
I've
Dude,
seen
I
that. It's like
love that.
it's like the weasel ball.
It's the worst way to wake up ever. You're just like, oh, again, don't have your contacts in.
Let's create like an extreme version to where like if somebody doesn't get their phone within like 5 minutes, it like shoots paint like around the room or something.
The bed
Zaps
starts
you.
folding.
Like an extreme punishment. Yeah, it zaps you or
Let's go with like
It's the Star Wars walls.
feathers
It's just
or,
like the metal
confetti,
spikes.
not paint. That would
no, like paint. You want it to be extreme.
Wait,
That way,
people
like,
people are
if you
doing
don't
this
get your ass
zapping thing.
up and go turn the alarm off, then you're gonna get drenched in paint when you wake up.
Have you seen the Pavlok? People have like they're operant conditioning themselves with the shock watch, the Pavlok. It's like all the rage. It's like, oh, it's changed my life. Now every time I do this thing, it shocks me, and they're into it. Strange.
I mean,
Crazy.
it's just people that have. No, we're good. That's not a chief.
We'll
Keep
pass
going.
on that one.
Next topic.
There's a Venn diagram of people who listen to Andrew Huberman and watch and use the Pavlok to shock themselves. There's an intersection there.
So do we have this kind of going back a little bit? We don't have any preview of what Sugartown's gonna like kind of like style a game?
Not as far as I
So there's
know.
a raccoon.
Yeah.
There's
Mayor,
pig.
Mayor Mel.
Yeah, the raccoon escaped from like another universe. So we got like the Marvel like multiverse thing going on.
Say Marvel.
Yeah.
We minted
But
auras, which are a
we
thing.
minted auras this morning. Did everybody hear mint auras? We confirmed that earlier?
Yeah.
Somebody minted two. I heard
Confirmed.
that.
I got two.
Did the NRN crew have like a person connected with spots or did you
Yeah,
guys like get them individually?
We got connections.
I got mine through
Oh,
Finn's.
okay.
Finn's Beach Bar.
Nice. I didn't pay attention to that one.
Oh yeah. No.
I could have got three.
Yeah, you got to fill out the form.
But yeah, Camel's a good friend of the show. We've been going back since early Seals days.
Yeah,
So-
Camel hooked me up too.
He's a good guy.
Before Camel
Yes.
announced that he was moving to Sugartown, I was so frustrated with him when he left Seals and he's like, and I got a new gig and just wouldn't say where it is. I'm like,
Yeah.
where are you working?
Is this gig in the room with us now?
And such a shrouded references, like it's a company. I've built
Yeah.
things before.
I thought he went to Little Pudgy's. So it
Yeah,
was
I
like,
thought he was doing penguins too because he switched to a penguin, but no.
That was all a
It's all
ruse.
ruse.
I'm
dude,
assuming he changes his PFP after this, right?
to an aura.
Yeah.
to an aura probably. Dude, oh wait, so
Well,
are
that
these?
thing that
Do we
kinda
even know if
pissed
they're
me
all gonna
off.
look different or they're all
when
gonna be the
when
same?
reveal, we don't know shit.
We don't know shit.
No, nothing.
Oh,
It
the
was
Record
free.
League reveals
You can
tomorrow
tell it
too.
right now.
I'm excited about that. I have an epic majestic box for Rec League.
Wait, is that one of the? And I'm glad you brought up Reckley because that's another one of those gaming things. Is the Epic box? Is that like related to a Yuga asset, or is that just a KYC mint? Or
Yeah, it was just the KYC, man. I minted, and there's like, I don't know, 5 different rarities. I got the epic, which is I think like the third. It's like up there. There's a common, uncommon, epic, legendary, and then I think there's like Bored Ape one or whatever, and then there's like a coda. I don't know the system perfectly. I just know the game looked really cool. I really enjoyed watching the Founders Cup, and then I minted it. A lot of this stuff, like anything revolving around Web3 gaming, like I usually buy to like actually interact with. A lot of my content and things I talk about is like Web3 gaming stuff. It's my interest. So I don't really buy to flip most of the time. So yeah, I'm just kind of I'm just waiting to partake in it and see what I get. So from my understanding, the Majestic boxes, basically you get 10 parts and you're like guaranteed to be able to create a mech with those parts. And then there's like the more common boxes. I actually forgot what those are called. They're like half the price of Majestic, to where you get like half the parts, but it's not a full mech. You have to like go and buy the rest of the parts. And then I really should, again, I'm buying this for the experience and not really buying this for like the financial incentive. But I do think like you can actually like get a Web 2 version of your mech that's in the game. And if anybody likes your mech and buys your mech, that any Web 2 players, and you get 50% of royalties off that purchase. I think that's how it works. Now, granted, there's a lot of mechs, and there's gonna be a lot of mechs that are better than mine. Because the Bored Ape holders, I see Nate Digital in the crowd, like they're gonna get better mechs like automatically. But yeah, I think that's kind of how the system works. But they had a Founders Cup recently. The whole reason this even like went through my head, and Wob, did amazing. It was him and Jonah in the finals, and Wob just wrecked him. And I don't think anybody was even close to like beating Wob. So there's a little bit of a bullish case for the Seals right there.
For the Pixelverse. Okay, so I was wondering about the mech thing because I didn't realize that was the mechanic of it. I thought of it similar to like a secondary marketplace where you could sell like pieces of your mech or your whole mech just in its entirety. But what you're saying is you could sell like possibly, if this is how it works, like a Web 2 copy of your Web 3 mech, potentially, edition.
Yeah.
Per se.
I think it's literally the same as Parallel is doing, like where you have the NFT ownership and then you can pretty much sell like a very cheap copy that doesn't get rewarded essentially.
Yeah. No, that's
yeah.
Really
Again, I should be more familiar with the structure, being like I'm actually involved with it, and I actually want to try to take part. I think they're having like a tournament tomorrow. My guess is that like you have the pieces to assemble the mech, and like once assembled, then you can like make the Web 2 version. But you can buy and sell the parts like on like any marketplace. But that, again, that's just kind of my assumption on the way it's going to work. I'm one of those like do tomorrow type of people. Like I don't research until I like have to. And that's kind of how I've been with this. Like if I can't use it or do anything with it until tomorrow, then like it's not really interested me to, unless I'm making like content on it or whatever.
Sure.
It hasn't really interested me to like research everything about it.
Now, as far as gameplay goes, because I've been wondering this, like, is it like Mortal Kombat or do you like select a combo and then it executes the combo? Like I just don't know how it works.
Yeah, I didn't play the beta, so like as far as like the specific controls, like I don't know. I wish Kyle was here. He did play the beta. But it looks, I mean, the feel is Mortal Kombat, to where like you hit combos, you have like energy that builds up, and then you can use like a special move, like a finishing move. I like the whole like it's not quite a kill cam, but it's like kind of like that kill cam / knockout if you use like your finishing move and get them. I love that in games. So that was exciting. And I'll say just like watching the Founders Cup, like it was just fun to watch. Like take Web3 out, like I really enjoyed the experience. I would have enjoyed that experience 5 years ago when I didn't know what Web3 was.
Sure.
Just like watching people play this game, it being competitive, and it was the narrators did a really professional job at like kind of saying what's going on, kind of catching you up. So the game looks fun. I mean, I'll be able to update you guys maybe even as soon as tomorrow if I'm able to play tomorrow.
Chris, when you were growing up, were you on the Mortal Kombat side of things? Because I'll personally say, like, I just never got into this type of game.
No, the closest to Mortal Kombat I've ever, so I played Mortal Kombat like just with friends or whatever, but it's never been my thing. The closest to that like 1v1 like 2D style, I played like Naruto Shippuden. I think it was Shippuden in the game or something. Like Naruto something, Ultimate Fighter maybe. I don't know. It started out like that like 2D version, then eventually went to 3D. And then there was a couple of Dragon Ball Z games that I really liked to play, but those were kind of the same way. They weren't. I think they started out like that, like same style that we're talking about, but then they got to more of like an open environment. But yeah, I've never been like huge, nor have I been competitive. And then I'm one of those like once it got like uberly complicated, it kind of like it wasn't worth me keeping up with just like due to my time. Like once the combinations just started getting ridiculous and people got so good, and it's like you got to memorize these like 16 different buttons in a row to hit this certain move. I just kind of was like, yeah, I'm not I don't care about this game this much to be involved. So I kind of moved on to either FPSs or like other style games that I liked. But yeah, not really my style.
The one thing I did play growing up on this type of game was Constant Champions, which was Marvel, but it was on the mobile side of things. But I've just never been a big fan of these types of games. It feels just like a button clicker and that's it. But like you said, obviously it's not just that, because if you do a combo, if you do something in a certain way, that's what gives you the advantage on this side. But I agree with you. That was a lot of fun watching. Unfortunately, Klon didn't win, but like you said, WOB just
Sweep
took
house.
out the
Yeah, I
competition.
bought
And
the
he's been a pro gamer prior to it as well, so obviously
yeah,
shows.
it showed very much so. I bought the Pokemon version of like the ultimate whatever. The Pokemon it was supposed to be kind of centered like one of those like 1v1 fighting games. Now it's more like three-dimensional. I was really excited about it because I'm a huge Pokemon fan. And I like played it like a couple of times and didn't like it. It was for the Wii U, which like was like the worst
I skipped that. Yep.
Nintendo system that's like ever hit the face of Nintendo. So that's probably why I didn't like it. They like set the bar real low for Wii U. That way, when they came out with later with the Switch, it was like mind blowing.
I love
how
the
good
Wii U.
Switch was. You like the
Of
Wii
course.
U?
Android too.
Oh yeah.
Man, that's
Big
the most
time.
Android user thing I've
Oh
ever heard
my
in my life.
gosh.
It's probably because it looks
You
like
get
an
a you get a
Android.
text from Crier on a green bubble. It goes like, "Have you guys got your Wii
You're like,
U's yet?
"Ugh."
This thing is sweet."
Come on,
This thing's
guys,
sick.
let's play Mario
By the
Party.
Send me
way,
your
Like,
Nintendo
I
you
like
could
different
you could play on your TV or on the handheld. The handheld was great, and then I had like I was able to get every game system previously, like PS1, all the games on there. So it had like all the classic games on it.
Hmm. Did you have to like jailbreak
By
it
the
or
way,
something?
a little bit of
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You got a hack source.
So it's
over
like
here.
not even a Wii U by that point. Like it's like this
Nah,
other like
It's a
yeah,
Steam
even
Deck.
say that
Steam
regular
Deck.
way as a Steam Deck, literally.
yeah.
It had good software, good hardware to add what you wanted.
I've like been a fan of every Nintendo system just about that's ever came out except for the Wii U. Like I've been playing. I started with the N64, which I know isn't like the Genesis. Like I've obviously played. I played some of the earlier ones, but N64 was like my like go-to when I was growing up. And then
Yeah, for
GameCube
sure.
was awesome. Wii was awesome. Wii U sucked, and the Switch is great.
They had
Really
good
quick,
games. They had the good Zelda games on there. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Which one? Which one was it?
What's it called?
The Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess is great, but that came out for Wii, I think.
Yeah,
Was it on Wii too?
I think so. Yeah, it might be. It might have been on both.
it
It was on
Twilight
both.
Princess was a really
I
good
played on
game.
Wii.
I remember it.
There was another one too, like the Twilight Sword or whatever.
Yeah, it was alright.
Get out of here.
It was
Really quick, next month there's a brand new Mario game coming out,
Yeah, it looks good.
and I want to say this. This is on the nerd side. I'm a very big pre-ordering bonus junkie
Sure.
for like 20 years, 30, or I'm not even 30, so 27 years. If you pre-order this game through Walmart, you're going to receive a pack of cards of Mario. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's like the best pre-order I've seen in the last 15 years for any video game, unless you actually get like the collector's edition and a massive like figure and stuff like that. But it's actually pretty cool if you look into it. Brand new Mario game, and you get a pack of cards, which there's going to be rares, holos, which could probably pay off the game for you as well. But that's enough of that.
what is the game itself? Like, is it just like a Super Mario, or is it like a Mario?
Super Mario.
The
Okay,
brand new Super Mario is coming out. Yeah.
nice.
I'll
It's like a
probably get
deluxe
it.
one where you can play with like 4 people in the same room, and I love those. They did a really good job.
They're phenomenal.
I have a bad experience with Walmart online site, but my wife got hacked.
dude.
Not hacked. My wife got like her account taken, and somebody bought like a bunch of random stuff and shipped it to their house, including like a ping pong table, a like
Yo,
I don't remember what it was. It was like almost $1,000 worth of stuff. I
Someone
still
hacked
don't.
my PayPal and bought 46 sinks,
hell
and they
yeah!
all got shipped.
46
And
what?
that's the day Crier went to crypto.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, it was around that time. I was like, "This is bullshit."
Yeah,
I literally caught it within minutes of like finding out that they did it, and I notified PayPal, and I just watched it happen. Like they bought it, they emailed me like saying, "Oh, you got 46 faucets shipping to this house," and I'm like, I didn't order faucets. First of all, I'm not a fucking contractor. I don't need 46 faucets. And then yeah, 2 weeks over time, like calling them all the time, like, bro, like they're stealing this shit, like, and then still got shipped, and I'm just like, well, we'll refund your money. I'm like, catch those assholes. I don't want them getting sinks, man.
Dude, it's stressful, man. There's so many. How much money was that total?
Dude, it was like a lot. It was like 8,200 or something like that.
Oh
It was a
my
lot.
gosh. That's wild, dude. Yeah, like nobody. There's so much focus on like Web3 scams that like everybody forgets the amount of Web2 scams out there. Like my wife's Walmart account got compromised, and around that same time period, there's like 2 other things that happened to us that were like off the wall. One was like health insurance, but that's like a long backstory on its own. My Clash of Clans account one of those got taken, which was like really pissed me off because I was a huge Clash of Clans player. Like I've been playing since like 2013, and I played every day like way too long. And like I had an account get taken on that, and had a lot of problems with like the whole Supercell and stuff. But yeah, Web2 is full of scams, man.
Just the whole world is full of scams.
Scam wars.
Just gets magnified in Web3 because like
Scam wars.
Hey, at least it's on chain, you know?
Yeah, we know who it was. We can watch them from afar.
My dad got a
Plan their
laptop.
demise.
My dad got a laptop stolen out of his car when we were growing up. These guys went around with these sonic like window shattering things, stole his laptop, and they found it like years later as part of a laptop theft ring that they were selling laptops out of like kiosks at malls. So it was this like multi-state theft ring where they were, I don't know, just what's it, fencing?
that's interesting, man.
Yeah, super trippy. But they didn't
Probably
get
the
his
one thing
back.
I would buy out of a vending machine.
Yeah, they didn't get his back because they were like, we got bigger fish to fry. We got to catch these guys.
I don't have proof of it. It's just like one of the like things that people talk about. But like we have a couple spots like around my city that like they're not like homeless people. They're people that just like go out and like ask for money essentially. And apparently they have like their own ring where they like have like a set of like houses and like an organization around it to where like it all goes to like one place and then gets distributed. And it's like it's not a homeless thing. It's some type of like I don't know what it is, but it's very interesting.
Organized panhandling.
Yeah, organized panhandling essentially is what it's allegedly is what it is. I don't know if that's one of those things where like people just kind of
like a
made
little
that
urban
to where like
legend,
you
yeah.
don't give to them or not. But it is funny though because like I live in a relatively small city, and there's like new people like every week or maybe even every day like at their spots. So it's like that is interesting to me because there are like we do have homeless people around here, and typically you see the same homeless people like that are around here. But these people that are in these specific spots, you see them once or twice, and then you never
Y'all
see
taking
them.
photos of them,
And then
making
you
sure
see,
that
I'm just like, I'm tracking these guys. Awesome.
riveting.
In conclusion, just Web2 scams, there's Web3 scams, and like Chris said,
Panhandling
it's
scams.
magnified just because the space is new and different and people don't know about it.
Okay, speaking
And
of
honestly, the best thing, really quick,
Yeah.
dude, Lift, the best thing about this conversation is just finding the origin story of Crypto Crier. So I'm very happy right now. So go ahead.
some
This
sinks
villain arc.
some sinks were stolen. He vowed
Not
never to be
villain arc,
taken
just
again.
Right.
Crypto arc. 48 cents.
I will control my own money.
I got my next AK here.
My keys, my money. I don't need any more sinks.
You're gonna fall for a honeypot one day, Crier, or like something like that, and then they're gonna buy 48 sinks, small faucets. And you're just gonna,
48 instead of 46.
You're gonna lose it.
Zach XBT is like, yeah, we watched the money, get washed a few times. Then it got offloaded through Coinbase and then to Home Depot. It was really weird.
Right to Home Depot.
It was so weird.
Wait, was it Home Depot or was it something weird?
Oh yeah, it was Home Depot.
I could see that happening though. Like we used to have this business, and down like 2 suites down, there was this door store where all they sold was doors, and they would bring in trucks full of doors every day. And we're like, what the hell are these guys? Where are they getting these doors? Who's buying these doors? We were convinced it was a cartel front, like 100%. But, maybe they're buying doors from stolen cards.
Do
And
you have a front door on your house?
I mean, yeah.
That's where they're going.
There you go.
No, but nobody ever went in. And it was like just some like, there was no
Doors
signage.
going out.
Like it was just a store full of doors.
Did you ever go inside?
No,
Why not?
because I was afraid.
Okay.
Scary door store.
I can't get my head off this faucet thing. Like, I'm thinking like the guy who hacked.
It was like
Vitalik
really
last
nice
week.
faucets too. Like,
Well,
High-end
and it's
shit.
like a whole pallet.
Like, what if the
You
guy who hacked
fucks.
Vitalik last week was like, "Hey, I have a ton of faucets that I need to sell. Like, if any of you crypto DJs want to buy these faucets, it's like all part of the same ring."
Commemorative faucets.
It's not a bad way to
Dude.
launder your cash if you offload them for cash to contractors.
Yeah. I'm sure he had a great ring going. I mean, like that's a
You know
lot
what
of.
really
He's
sucks?
just like,
They didn't send you one, Car. They should have at least sent you one.
no, not even one. It wasn't even far away from my house at the time. It was. Oh no, it was. It was. They said it was like somewhere in Atlanta. They sent it to, and I had just moved back from Atlanta. But it was like,
Oh,
ugh.
maybe it was somebody.
Like I know where they shipped it to too. Like they literally got an email like it's right here.
I didn't know you lived in Atlanta, Crier. That's or at some
I did
point.
the same thing.
Yeah.
When they did my wife's Walmart account, I like called their local police and told them the address. And was like, "Hey, this person just used our account and like shipped the stuff there." And I want to say the response wasn't very good. It was like, pretty much there's nothing we can do or something like
Yeah,
that. I'm
we'll
like, what do
get
you
to
mean
it.
there's nothing you can do? You just bought $1,000 worth of stuff from Walmart and sent it to this house. If you go there, you'll see this stuff using my card. Like it was something like that. I'm like, bro, this is stupid.
We'll get them.
We'll get
Them later.
The cops are playing ping pong on the
now.
table.
Yeah,
The cops are playing. It was actually their
It's
station.
the station now.
Like, oh yeah, we can't do anything about that. It's out of our jurisdiction.
There's another one that someone stole my Switch out of my truck that I had in Atlanta, and dude, I got wrecked in Atlanta. I got a a car. I had a Ford Escape got stolen, and I had just bought it, and stolen.
Where did you live in Atlanta?
I lived in like a good area too. Like it wasn't even that bad. It was in Marietta. It wasn't like. I mean, it wasn't like the bad part of Marietta. It was like a decent. It was like, whatever. I can't remember the name of the road now. Whatever. It wasn't that
Wendover or
bad.
something?
But yeah, we had some punks. I don't think it wasn't even like people like steal it. They like stole it and like joyrode it and then crashed it. And then I was like,
Oh, that
great,
sucks.
ruined it. And then so that actually came out a win because I got to get a new car because it was totaled. So,
Nice.
but then they stole Switch, and they called me. Let's see, it was like what 5 and 6 years ago. They called me like 3 months ago and asked me if I wanted to press charges against someone who stole my Switch. And I was like,
They finally tracked him down. That's what I'm saying.
completely
Wait, you
forgot
said
about
3
that.
months ago?
Wait.
They called you 3 months ago? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Rewind.
Yeah.
What?
How?
What do you mean?
So like, you got your Switch stolen how many years ago?
It was long. It was probably like I would say 5.5 years ago.
All right. So what did you do when it was stolen?
I like filed a police report, like
Got it.
So they hit like a
And
bunch of people in
3
our
months
area. So
ago-
the cop was literally just walking around, being like, "Did anything get stolen?"
And then 3 months ago, the Switch popped up.
No, they didn't get the Switch back. That's gone. But they want to know if I wanted to press charges against the person who was caught for stealing all of these things.
5 years ago.
You
Oh,
told
so
him you
they
were good
found
because you've been doing well on shitcoins?
Yeah, I let him ride. I let him slide. He was like 17 or at the time. I didn't really give a shit.
Yeah.
It was a like 6-year Switch. So He's
Dude,
like he'll pay you. It was literally like he'll pay you restitutions, and it's gonna be about $12 a year for the next like 20 years. Do you want to do that?
Ugh.
And I'm like, just let the guy go.
Let him
I
live.
got it.
Damn, bro.
That's
Cry, I ask you
stupid,
for $20 all the time. There's my $20.
You're not getting $20.
You take yourself out to lunch once a month from your Switch restitutions. You're like, feels
Yeah.
good.
Once a year.
Feels good. Fuck that guy.
dude. My one time,
You're buying.
my one experience with Atlanta, I like was driving through and I hit a pothole and then I got stuck in Atlanta because like it was in the middle of the night. It was like at like well, not middle of the night. It was probably like 3 or 4 a.m. I was trying to make it to an early disc golf tournament in South Carolina, and yeah, or something like I don't remember exactly where I was heading. And I hit a pothole and I got stuck on the side of the road in Atlanta because I was getting off to get gas, and I was terrified. I don't know which part of Atlanta it was, but it was just me and my wife. Like we were just in a car at nighttime, like kind of like in a random side of the road, like right into a city, and we had to like push the car to like the nearest station, and thankfully there was like a place pretty close, and we got it like
It's
replaced the next
3
day.
miles uphill both ways.
No, it wasn't that bad. It was just it was not a fun experience.
Could
So
be a little
you guys
spooky.
need to fix your
I
roads.
feel like I never felt unsafe in Atlanta.
Well, I wasn't familiar. I was just not familiar with the area, so like I just know I was like
Like your
trying
shit
to
will get
pass-
stolen, but I didn't
I was
feel
trying to
unsafe.
pass through, and now I'm like on the side of the road with my wife, like in a city that I didn't know.
No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Crier, that's the Southern hospitality. You know, you're driving through the
Yeah.
streets, they'll wave to you. You know
They're
what I mean?
not the wave.
And then when
When
you
you're
go
not
to
there,
sleep,
they will
they'll steal
steal
your
it.
shit. Yeah.
100%.
Good lord.
But yeah, we're coming up on an hour. That was a fun little chat. We're
Absolutely.
gonna do these once a week, Wednesdays. Or the whole goal is to just kind of bring people and talk about. Anyone can come up as well too. We see some people that have been following through a couple times, but just follow up on what we've been doing in the space. Talk about things getting stolen. Chris is multiple things stolen and pushing cars around. So it's gonna be a great time.
You're gonna try to get enough ad revenue to buy 48 sinks. That's the goal.
That's exactly the goal.
Awesome.
But
awesome.
Kyle joined finally.
Yeah, that was super fun. I loved hearing everything about just different kind of gaming aspects in the space that are going on right now.
For sure.
Like, I think it's an exciting area, especially again. The last thing I'll say about it, it seems like the people that are winning right now in the gaming space are people like Chris was saying that are making just a legitimately good. I mean, this is like so obvious, I guess, in retrospect, but they're legitimately good games that are amplified by crypto. This isn't Axie Infinity. This isn't some of this other stuff. Like, these are good games that are made better by the blockchain. So good stuff.
I have one thing to say on the Axie Infinity beings. You mentioned it. I don't remember the name, but there's a streamer on Facebook that's like averaging like over 1,000 viewers during his live stream. That's streaming the Axie Infinity. I don't want to say the Web2 version, but I guess there's a version. I don't know anything about Axie. I've never played, but the version to where you're not earning their token or whatever. So I don't know if it's considered the Web2 version or what.
Kind of like the apparition deal. Like,
But it's
pretty
cool
much
'cause, I
everyone's
mean,
doing that.
He has over 1,000 people watching him and probably enjoying the streams, and it's a Web3 game, but it's just worth mentioning.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
Axies isn't bad. I played Axies. It was pretty good. I mean, it's like almost like a rogue light type deal, where you're playing cards to attack them. I think it's not bad. Okay.
What's up, dudes?
That has the most use. What's up, Kyle? That has the largest. Their Ronin chain is more volume than everything at NFT.
All the
place.
chains. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that still gets a lot of use.
That's awesome.
Bro, we're trying to wrap up. You're trying to get up in here. What is this?
Hold up, we got to bring him up on Spaces really quick.
Yeah, we got him.
Yes.
Let's say-
2 cents.
So
Thank you for having me up for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Anything you'd like to say?
4 seconds.
You can start with Star Wars.
What were you guys
Three.
talking about at gaming wise?
Oh, everything. We did Parallels. We did Rec League. We did what else? We just talked about Axie a little bit.
Pirate
Talked
Nation.
about Pirate Nation. Talked about what else?
Pixelverse. A little bit. Just a little sprinkle.
Scooch.
Nice.
Scooch
I
of
would like to
Pixelverse.
say, just because you're good at a video game doesn't mean you can make a video game. So let's still see what they can do over there at Sappa Seals.
That's right.
Hopefully, good
What you
stuff.
got for us, Kyle?
Not much. I'm actually getting a little bit of feedback here, like a feedback loop.
It
I don't know
Yeah,
what's
he's
happening.
pumping his audio in to Riverside.
Yeah, if you're
I see.
using like a traditional like iPhone Roadcaster setup, it can be a little funky. You have to kind of finagle it. a little bit. So the people, yeah, I won't bother explaining it since we're about to wrap up, but we could definitely do like a thing in the NRN team chat to talk about how maybe to do it better.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
No, I don't have too much on gaming. I'm wearing actually a Illuvium sweatshirt right now, though, as you guys
ooh,
talk
black
about
hoodie.
Web3 gaming. So
Let's go.
How much is land going for right now?
I don't know. It's held value around like 0.4. I don't know what it is now, but that's kind of been the floor for like a while now. So you'd have to check on Immutable X though.
Yeah.
I mean that beta was good. I played it. I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Now I caught the end of the Axie. I saw that they onboarded Pixel. What was it called? Pixelverse on the Ronin chain.
Did they really?
Yeah. So the Ronin
It
chain
wasn't
is
Pixelverse. It was Pixels.
man. This feedback loop is tripping me out. I can't even think straight.
I think I know what you're
Here, let me
talking.
take my headphones off for 2 seconds and talk about that. So this game was onboarded by Ronin, which is obviously the developers of Axie, Sky Mavis. They have their Ronin chain now. Pixels Online, they have like 100K monthly active wallets, 500K or 5K daily active users, and 1.5 million monthly transactions. So the Ronin chain, we may see that chain pop off. So a lot of these mini games, AA games, you don't even necessarily AAA games. So Ronin chain, be on the lookout for them too. I think they'll be a sleeper moving into next year.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, I think
They're trying to do onboarding.
I think Wolf Game got acquired by Pixel Vault. Maybe that's what it is, or something. They got acquired. They got acquired by somebody who
and all that nonsense.
Yeah, they're doing a thing.
Good lord.
But yeah, we're gonna do these weekly. Get all the good information that all of us have been gathering for the week. Share it with you guys. But anything else? Any last tidbits? Great seeing you, Kyle. It's great talking with you.
So much, Kyle, for coming by. Obviously, for the people listening, this won't be just the Web3 gaming. Of course, we'll talk about the overall space, Crier's crypto analysis, my nerd analysis, dude's doodles analysis, chip analysis,
Saltine cracker analysis.
Saltine cracker, excuse me, and VV. By the way, that VV little sign that you have in the back, would love to have one of those. Let me know. Get one of those. And Kyle,
I'll talk to you for
back, right?
like 4 ETH.
Wow, never mind. You know what? You can keep it. I'll just do my own thing.
Maybe 1 ETH. Some guy bought it for around 1 ETH.
75% price reduction instantaneously. Bear market.
Yeah, so somebody was selling one on eBay recently. It was around like $1,600 or so.
Oh wow! All right, never mind. We can make one.
Yeah. Some guy like actually bought one for like 1,700 or more. The last I heard.
I make my own instead of VV. I call it Vivi, and we make our own stuff.
So for
yeah, some guy actually made the same exact sign, but with his logo, and it's pretty cool.
Okay.
He sent me the company too to make it, so I thought about making my own, just like the VV Lite, except Kyle Wilson or something like that. Perhaps Crier could make an NRN one.
Ooh. And the last thing I did want to mention is Kyle, your little what's it called behind you on the left to the right of the Batman, the Pixelmon?
Kevin.
Oh yeah.
Kevin.
So Kevin is in the building. Thank you so much, Kevin, for coming by. But
that thing took like 4 hours to make, man. It's like mini Legos.
Oh, is it really? Wow. Oh, that's
that wasn't one
so
that came pre-made.
That's awesome.
No, yeah, I thought it was gonna be pre-made, and it wasn't. It was like these mini tiny Lego things.
All right, your kid would love that, making that.
Dude, he's a Lego machine nowadays.
Yeah, he would go ham on that.
You can see the piece is like smaller than my fingernail.
Jeez. Close it out for us because you have the best voice here, and you can definitely make the more emphasis here. So, How do you close this show out? Remember, this episode This is like a beta. This is like the alpha, not even beta.
It's definitely not you and
rugged.
your bricks fucking shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm telling him to do it, not me.
Who?
Dude, close this out.
Oh, shoot. I didn't know you were talking. I didn't know you were talking to me. Yeah,
The
I
other
think
dude next.
like we were saying in the beginning, this is the round Tabloors, so come be a part of the hive mind group consciousness, Giga Chad, voice cell brain, awesome fun time.
Wait, so
Yeah, if you haven't seen voice cell, go measure voice on voicecell.org. It's a good time. So
it's a good jam. You specifically talk lower for it.
awesome, everybody. Yeah, but yeah, we'll be back next week, and we're streaming on YouTube and on Twitter Spaces simultaneously. So tune in, however, whatever floats your boat.
Let's go, baby.
Peace.